compass for everything learning, leadership, coaching, and personal growth. I am your host, Dr. Maurine Kwen. I'm a learning leader, educator, an executive leadership coach who's passionate about helping organizations develop their leaders to become leaders people want to work for. That's what we do in my company called EMK Learning Solutions. You want to explore workforce productivity or any other leadership topics or coaching, please feel free to reach out to me on social media and we will be able to help your organization. So, welcome back to the podcast this week. So, as we wrap up our theme on workforce productivity, which is what we've been talking about all month, today's episode will focus on developing a workplace productivity culture. So, what to expect in this episode is we're going to talk about what workplace productivity culture is. We're going to talk about its characteristics, highlight its importance and benefits, and then we're going to be sharing some strategies how you can create a workforce productive culture. So let's dive in. So, what is actually a workplace productivity or workforce productivity culture? This is an environment where the norms, values, and practices consistently promote and support efficient and effective work processes. It's a culture where productivity is not just encouraged but ingrained in the daily routines and mindset of all the employees from top to bottom, right? It's ingrained in the habits, throughout or across the organization. So that's what we would describe workforce productivity culture to be. What do the habits look like, right? What are people doing daily? Is it reflecting productivity across the board? Then, if the answer is yes, it means definitely there is a workforce productivity culture within that organization. So, what are some of the characteristics that define or determine a workforce productivity culture? First of all, we want to always start off with the vision, the goals, the strategy, and expectations. Employees understand what is expected of them, and they have a clear vision of where they're going, and also measurable goals. So, for example, having clear objectives, having clear goals that are aligned to your strategic vision and mission of the organization. It helps employees set and achieve these goals. And then there's also continuous improvement. It's not a one and done thing, right? So employees are committed to regularly assessing and improving processes. So for example, an organization uses an approach whereby it emphasizes continuous improvement and efficiency. And so you might want to be able to take a look at what you currently do, right? And how you can improve those areas. What about communication? Would you describe your organization as having open communication across the board from top to bottom, right? Is there transparency? Are there open lines of communication across all levels, right? Some organizations, for example, like Zappos, they have open communication as a core value, and that fosters collaboration and innovation. So, that's one thing you want to also take a look at. Another characteristic of a workforce productive culture is empowerment and autonomy. Employees are empowered to make decisions and take ownership of their work. Leaders understand that delegation is part of the culture. They are allowed to, or they understand that they have to delegate authority, accountability, and responsibility, and that comes with the employee being empowered to make decisions on whatever things they're working on, and thereby taking ownership of their work. So that is definitely a key area there. Whereby organization, for example, encourages employees to act in the company's best interest, giving them the freedom and responsibility. And someone might be thinking, "Are you serious?" Well, yeah. And so when the employee experiences buy-in, definitely they would be able to push that agenda because they buy into the vision of the organization. Okay, so that is something that is clear there. Now, what about recognition and reward? regularly acknowledging employees and rewarding their productive behaviors and achievements, right? Not just waiting at the end of the year, but make it part of the culture, right? Using that option to celebrate employees who excel and innovate. And what that does is it inspires other employees who are not there to actually work hard and also be recognized. Okay, so what are some of the benefits and the importance of having a workforce productive culture? Number one, it enhances efficiency and performance. Employees work more efficiently, leading to higher performance and output. And so this therefore increases revenue and a competitive advantage. Now, employees also feel engaged and they're more satisfied in their work, right? Because this workforce productive culture is there, so they're more engaged and are more motivated and satisfied with their job. That means that they don't quit, right? They stay there longer, and of course the benefit is it lowers turnover, and of course higher employee loyalty, and also impacts the total cost of work. This is huge. It's a huge benefit. Now let's talk about the benefit of innovation and growth. When we have a workforce productive culture, it fosters creativity and innovation. A company that really takes or takes the lead, innovation and creativity. You have Amazon, you have Netflix. Those are some of those companies that empower their employees to take time during the day to get creative and innovative, right? So when this happens, right, what's the benefit? There is continuous growth, adaptability to market changes. Now we know with AI, being the forefront, right? So imagine if your company is that agile, right? You're gonna be, the leaders when it comes to creativity and innovation. What about having a positive workplace environment? When there is this culture of productivity, it creates obviously a positive and supportive work environment, and of course, this leads to improved teamwork and collaboration. Okay, so these are some of the benefits, and so you can see that it is definitely something that is worth exploring. And so I want to challenge you guys to really take this into consideration. Now let's get into the meat of it. What are the strategies then? You're interested. Yes, you see the benefits, you see the characteristics, you understand what a productive workforce a culture is, and you're now excited to implement some strategies, right, to put this in place in your organization. What are some things you need to do? I always say start off with a strategy and get buy-in, right? Let your employees be part of the vision, be part of the strategy, right? Set clear goals and expectations that are clear, and employees understand, through open communication, right? Implement smart goals, a goal setting framework to align the individual and organizational goals. And then another way is to promote continuous improvement, right? Encourage employees to always seek ways to improve their work processes, right? And so a strategy to do this is by adopting a continuous improvement methodologies. There are so many out there that could help you in this area. Foster an open communication. Create an environment where open communication is encouraged and valued. I have shared on this podcast before how leaders would ask employees to share openly, but it's like holding a knife behind their back, right? Because the moment they do that, then they use that information against the employees, and before you know it, they quit or they get fired. This just shows that there is no psychological safety there. That's not what we want, right? With a productive workplace culture, there has to be psychological safety. People have to be encouraged to have open communication to learn and grow. So during when you're holding regular team meetings, feedback sessions, use collaboration tools, right? Where employees can openly share without being judged in a safe space. Empower your employees. We've heard that so many times. Many times employees quit their organizations because of bad leaders, right? Bad managers. Are you empowering your employees, right? To by giving them performance, by giving them, I would say, employee uh, performance, options where they can develop their skills, right? So give them options to make decisions about even their own personal growth. Provide leadership development opportunities for them so they can be able to learn and grow their skills, right? Be able to reward and recognize them for the hard work they do. What are some of the reward and programs that you have in place? For example, incentives like bonuses, awards, public acknowledgement, all those things really help to help in that area. So another thing is you as a leader lead by example, right? Don't just talk, walk the talk, right? Model the behavior that you want to see, so employees will look up to you and say, oh, you're doing it. They don't have any reason to hold back, right? That demonstrate commitment to productivity through your actions and decisions. Okay, so there's so many organizations that practice this. So try to take time to invest in your employees. I'll stress this again. Be able to look across the organizations. What are the gaps, the skill gaps that they have? What do they need to learn to be empowered so they can do their jobs effectively? When I'm sharing this, tips in my academy, my workforce leadership academy, where I work with many leaders, is the same conversations that we have over there. You want to be able to empower yourself so you can empower your teams, right? So help your leaders, empower them so they can be the best version of themselves. So developing a workforce productivity culture is essential for any organization looking to enhance efficiency, engagement, innovation, reducing total cost of work, and also total turnover cost, and be able to increase return on engagement, and also economic value. So by setting clear goals, promoting continuous improvement, fostering open communication, empowering your employees through leadership and professional development, recognizing their achievements, and leading by example. These are some of the ways that you can create a positive, a productive environment that benefits both your employees and the organization. So this could not be a one and done thing. When I work with many organizations, it's a whole process, right? It's not just one training event. It starts all the way to their onboarding, their recruitment. Does that reflect a positive, productive workplace culture? What are some things that you can do that would run throughout the life cycle and not just the one phase? So that's one thing you want to consider. So thank you so much for joining us on this journey to explore workforce productivity for this whole month. We hope you've learned these insights and strategies that can help you foster a culture that can drive success and growth within your teams, within your organization. I'd like to encourage you to stay tuned for next month, the theme that's coming up next month. We're very excited and we're going to be sharing that next week. So thank you once again for tuning in. Until next time, next week, be safe, be well. This is Dr. Maurine Kwen signing